Yo, what's up guys? It's Mike here from Airvox Studios, and today I'm going to show you how the pros do vocals. The very first thing I always do with vocals is tune them, okay? We're looking at like 3 hooks, but the first hook has less stuff than the second one, and the third one's got more stuff than all of them. So a lot of people just put auto-tune on there first. I'm not going to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is bust out Melodyne, okay? And I'm going to mainly just focus on the lead vocals for now. So these first 2 tracks are the leads. I'm going to make 2 new tracks. And we'll copy this name. We'll paste it here. Put melody end. Copy this name. Paste it here, put melody end. Boom. Now we're going to copy this right here and bring them here. Okay. Put Melodyne on both these tracks. Set it to F major. Hit transfer. Open up the next one. Hit transfer. Send these 2 tracks to the leads. And let's go ahead and run them through the Melodyne.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could.
Okay, sick. Now we got it in there. And see, Melodyne thinks the song is in D major. It's not, it's an F major. So you watch out for them automatic key finders, I'm telling you. They will not always be right. Let's just snap all these to the grid.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own.
Okay, these are all going to need some adjustments, but we're going to just real quick here snap these to the grid first. All right. So what I like to do is select one line, put it in loop mode.
Now, you're better on your own. I did the
And then I go cut these squigglies out. The squigglies are the lines. We don't want the lines, right? We want the lines to be attached to the blobs. So I'm going to just cut these guys out here real quick. We'll snap them.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the
Okay, so that's one. We get the next line.
I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Gave forgiveness away. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that always told me
see, this is the name of the game right here. This is the name of the game. You've got to cut to the blobs. You gotta cut the lines to the blobs.
All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I miss hearing you moan, maybe do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I miss hearing you moan, maybe do.
That's time for note transition. And we're gonna go ahead and hit that that amplitude tool right there.
All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I'm
Okay. That amplitude tool is fire.
Maybe I should behave. Maybe I should behave. Maybe I should behave. Maybe I should behave. Yeah, maybe I should behave like you. 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 Maybe I should be. Well, maybe I should behave. Well, maybe I should behave. Well, maybe I should behave. Well, maybe I should behave.
This one's pretty good. Not too bad.
Maybe I should behave.
Okay, so now we got the Melodyne done through all of those. What we want to do is we are going to put some auto-tune on it right after that. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a listen to that.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best
So we can hear it super robotic like this. And we don't want it to be. Not for this guy. So what we're going to do, if we turn this humanize all the way up, it's going to try to make it more human, you know? Take the robotiness out of it. So we don't want to have to use 100% of that. We'll just bring that to 75, and we'll start to bring this retune speed back. Okay, now let's paste it to the other one.
All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I miss hearing you moan. Maybe I should behave. Yeah, maybe I should behave like you. Or maybe I should behave. Don't look at me now, you're better on
just very subtle amount of the tuning. Well, maybe subtle's not a good thing to say. Subtle amount of the roboticness. Okay? Probably a lot of tuning that I'm using here. Alright, so now that the vocals are tuned, I'm going to commit them. Right click, commit. It's going to spit out 2 tracks that are the tuned audio of these 2 tracks. So what I can do now, take this guy, throw it on a new playlist, bring these up here, and this is our downbeat of the start, so we're going to cut it like that. And since these hooks are copied and pasted, I'm going to go ahead and throw this one on a new playlist. We're going to hit this downbeat. Actually, let's clip group these. Hit this downbeat right here. Snap that over there. Throw this guy on a new playlist. Snap this guy over there. All right. Now, we've got 2 tracks tuned. So once I have the 2 tracks tuned, sometimes I will start building a vocal chain from there, depending on how I'm feeling for the day, or I might just knock out all of the tuning. So I'd go and maybe do the next 2 tracks and do the next 2 tracks and on and on and on until I got it all done, right? And then they would all be melodined here and be ready for the vocal chain. Okay. So we're going to go down the road of building that vocal chain. I like to use the 7-band a lot. I use it a lot, but I think to help you guys see what's going on here a little bit better, if I use this EQ, it's kind of like the Fab filter, Q, whatever, but it's by Isotope. So it's got that visual thing going on, you know what I mean? So what we're going to do is solo these guys. And first thing I'm going to do, take this one and turn it into a high pass filter. I don't need it to be that crazy sharp. And right now we got it at 103. That might be a little bit high. I kind of like thick vocals, so I typically don't go too high with that, but for this track it might fit. So you can hear all that low end, it's cutting out. Yes, that line is missing a little bit of A, but it'll be covered up in the other doubles and stuff like that. So now, I hear a lot of top end in this vocal, like the SET kind of stuff. Okay, so let's focus in on this one line right here. Kind of a lot of that 8K, right? And there's a little bit of telephone kind of stuff that might be nice to tame. Okay, so we're just gonna put a little dip at 8 there. And a little small bit out of that low end right there. Okay. Next, what we're gonna do, throw one of these on there. And there's the 10K I found I didn't really like. Okay. Whistly 6K. 3.7. So I like to make all my surgical moves in this one. There's that boxiness, kind of telephone thing going on. So yeah, just some frequencies that if you go searching for, you'll find them. All I did was turn up a Q real tight and then turn up the gain real high, start sweeping. Right? So now, what we're gonna do after that, let's move these over here. We'll go dynamic EQ. Okay? Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the. I did the. Don't look at me now. Okay, that's the area I'm taming down. I did the. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the. Don't look. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Everything's gonna be okay. It's no big deal. You're all good, man.
For always saying the things that I need to hear to get me back in the game.
Look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I'm as here. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the always told me
right there on that line.
As if to act as I don't do. All the
I like this one preset in here that's called like strictly DS, and it's just set up to only touch these S's and stuff, T's, all the plosives.
I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I'm just hearing you moan.
Now next is where I'll usually throw a channel strip or like some sort of a boost of an EQ. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn on the first one and the second one here. So what you're hearing on this thing going on, right now I have it set to suck out some bad frequencies. So, and I have it giving it some saturation. So some mild saturation, and then this de-esser, it works really nicely to take out frequencies. It's kind of like a dynamic EQ. So that's what's going on with both of those, and it kind of sounds like it's getting louder, right? Well, that's the saturation kind of pushing it. So I'm going to turn down that output a little bit. All right. I think it should just get some taming on the 3K range.
Yeah, maybe I should behave like you. Or maybe I should behave. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could.
Let's make it wide.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could.
Let's have a little reference of where we started.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own.
Okay. And let's hear where it's at now.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own.
Okay. So nice. It's getting smoother and it's getting a little more present, right? That's that saturation that's giving it the presence, and the warmth of it was me taming that 3K area with this de-esser. It's pretty gnarly, like how it will just suck out any frequency, really. It's kind of like a little Hoover. And then I'm gonna hit this de-ess again, like another de-essing on the top end of this vocal. Everything up here like above 8.5. Let's check it out here. That buzzy stuff.
Your own. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the. Don't look at me now, you're better on your own.
Not mad at that. Now, let's get into the compressor. First one I like to use is the 1176. Now I could hear it giving it volume. So let's get that volume right. Put it at 3 for the, slower side of the attack, and then all the way up on the release. So I may change this a little bit, but that's just usually my default setting where I start.
Don't look at me now, you're better.
And I'm going to copy this down to the next one. So we're getting a good amount of compression here. We're going to back off just a little bit.
All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I'm hearing you moan. Maybe I should behave.
I like that.
Yeah, maybe I should behave like you. Or maybe I should behave.
Okay. After that comes the LA2A or a limiter. Kind of an idea. So let's make sure the gain is the same. So let's make it a little louder. I like to see this one hitting about 2 to 3. The next thing in my chain here is another de-esser.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone.
Yeah, that thing sounds good. It just kind of makes the S's and the T's sound so silky. I love that thing. And then vocal writer. These big spikes in the performance, they're getting turned down with the compressor, but we also want to make sure that those big spikes are above the red line right here in vocal writer, so that they're getting turned down just a very little bit, and the rest of the stuff that's not at that high of a dynamic is getting turned up. Okay, so that's looking pretty good.
Look at me now, you're better on your.
Maybe just a little bit down. Let's go see what this spike looks
I
like.
should behave like you.
Okay, and with the de-essing that we've done on the other stuff, I'm going to just turn the amount of this down on the de-esser. And copy this down to the next line.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could.
Now let's... Okay, so vocal writer is kind of the end of the vocal chain, except for there's a few more things I'm going to do. Let's listen to the vocals without the chain on and with.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy out.
Big difference. Big difference. So that saturation and that compression is really, really helping out a ton. So the next thing I would do is start to think about the effects, but I might want to get a level of it with the beat. So let's listen to the beat. Feel like they're a little quiet, so I actually put these at 0 and use the output of vocal writer. Not bad. All right, so now the first effect is like a pitch shifter. I'm using Waves doubler. Where that beast at? Where that beast at? Right here. Okay, so I'm de-essing before we go into the doubler, and then after the doubler, I'm EQing, notching out some gnarly stuff out of the doubler. So let's go ahead and see what that's like. I'm going to turn the send all the way up so we can get an idea of it.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own.
Okay.
I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I miss hearing you moan.
That doubler is cool, right? Super cool. Let's hear it without. With. So it's just a little something just to kind of push it, give it a little more stereo-ness in the mix, and give it kind of a little bit of a psychedelic kind of a feel on it. The next thing I got here, chorus verb is the way I have it labeled. It probably should be labeled long verb since I have this at 193 seconds for the decay time.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the...
So I like the sound of that plate, but I think I want to EQ some stuff out of it. Okay, so we're going to throw a 7-band. And there's an EQ built into that reverb, but I prefer to just kind of go notch it out like this. Not bad, not bad at all. The next thing is going to be our short verb. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out what that is down here.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your
Let's turn it all the way up.
Did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made.
Okay, it's kind of cool, but I think I hear some spots I want to EQ out too in this one. So we're going to 7-band this guy.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away.
Cool. Next thing, let's try a half note on here.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we'll both through.
Okay, this is cool, but definitely I'm going to want to automate this to turn on and off. All right, so the half note, we're going to go down here to the mute. All right, and we just want you're better on your own.
Look at me now, you're better on your own.
We just want on your own. Okay, so these need to be ungrouped, unclip grouped like that. There it is.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own.
Okay, so let's just take a second to just listen to that.
Look at me now,
Go tweak it a little bit. Let's make it last a little longer.
Me now, you're better on your own.
I like the filtering that I got going on right here. I cut all the top end off to 2 something, and I'm cutting up to like 300 something. Okay, and I cut out a little color on this guy, so that gives it that telephone effect. It's a nice texture, but the echo itself is kind of dry, so I want to put it into that chorus verb. And we'll just turn it up all the way so we can hear it.
Me now, you're better on your own.
So there's with the reverb. Here's without.
Look at me now, you're better on your own.
Okay, so now let's go turn down the volume of that delay. Bring that down like this much. Minus 10 something. Okay, let's get the next line.
All the things that it made, that's just some things that you won't do. All the things that you won't do. 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 Hearing you moan. Hearing you moan. Hearing you moan. Hearing you moan. Like you. Behave like you. Behave like you. Behave like you.
Okay, that's pretty sick. Now we got to do it on the next track.
I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that as I don't do. All 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 as I.
And that line being cut off is starting to annoy me. So I'll tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to put it back because I know that I accidentally cut it off. Yeah.
Always told me. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I'm
Okay, so now we got the first, what they call a good old delay throw.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could.
Next thing I got on here is a slap. Let's see how that sounds.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could. I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away. That's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave.
Okay, this is pretty cool, but you know, I have it really loud, so I'm gonna bring it down a bit.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could. I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away. That's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the
Okay, I like that I used the spread super wide on this, and I wanted to give it some tail, but it looks like these two things are not linked like I want them to be here, so we are going to link them. Turn it up. All right. And chopped a little top end off, like 9 something, up to 100 hertz. Cut out a little color, so they're just darkened, you know, thinned out a little bit.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could.
Turn that down just a little bit. I bet it would be pretty cool if I put this slap delay into the room reverb. So let's go turn up that slap delay. And let's check it out.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own.
Okay, let's go turn down the amount of that reverb on it here.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could. I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away. That's just some things that you won't do.
I might cut some more low end out of that.
Behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I miss hearing you moan. Maybe I should behave. Yeah, maybe I should behave like you. Or maybe I should behave.
So that's sick. We've got effects. Next thing, what I like to do is all the vocals end up going through my vocal bus, right?
Don't look at me now, you're better.
So I always just keep these on my vocal bus. And it's just 2 Pultec EQs. And then usually I run them into a tape machine after that. But first, oh, we're not using that multipass anymore. Never mind that. There's also another one if I need some more air. The Mag EQ, Mog EQ, whatever it is. Apparently there's automation in that plugin, and I don't really want to delete that if, for whatever reason, I end up using that. Okay, I like this one because you can put it up here to 20 hertz. I'm sorry, 20 kilohertz. Turn up a little bit of air.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own.
See? Pretty damn airy.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I.
But I feel like this vocal has plenty of air in it. I should probably also turn off these other 2 EQs after it, so that way when I'm doing this, I know what's going on.
Look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could. I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away. That's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I miss hearing you moan. Maybe I should behave.
So yeah, that Mog EQ is doing some cool stuff.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did.
Put the thickness back into the vocals with this 100 hertz.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could. I spent the season alone.
And this plugin's got some voodoo in it, you know, you can boost and cut the same frequency at the same time. It's kind of trippy. It creates these shapes, these EQ curves that you can't see, just kind of got to imagine. But I really like the broad setting here when I'm doing vocals, and almost all the time I'm using the broad setting.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could. I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away. That's just some things that you won't do. Always always told me behave as if the act as I don't do. All the things that it made you happy, I think we're both through. I'm hearing you moan, maybe I should behave.
Okay, so here it is without those three EQs.
Now you're better on your own. I did the best that I could. I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away.
So eventually, once I get done, all my vocals are going to run through those EQs, my background vocals, everything. It's all going to go through that. Even all the reverbs and all the effects, they're getting that EQ on it. So it really brightens up everything. That's why I don't worry too much about doing EQ over here. Real crazy EQ moves on the inserts of the track, because I know I just need to get them cleaned up, get the dynamics tamed, and after that, I can just throw some EQs on it. It's real simple.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone.
Okay, that's all pretty cool. I think we should ping pong that half note though.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do.
It's kind of cool, but I think we should turn it down a little bit now.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just...
That's pretty sick. Now what we want to do is copy these over to the other spots here. All right, so now we got the delay throws on all of those two tracks. So that automation's happening every time the chorus plays. And I can copy that down to all the rest of these tracks that do the same thing. Right? So that is how I would treat a vocal. And that tape machine I was talking about, let's go ahead and hit it with that. I like this preset that they've got in here for vocals. But I like to go in here and turn off the noise. Okay, that's important. And I like to set the input to where I'm getting the signal up to around -3, -1.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told me behave as if to act as I don't do. All the things that it...
Okay, here's without the tape machine.
Don't look at me now, you're better on your own. I did the best that I could, I spent the season alone. I gave forgiveness away, that's just some things that you won't do. Always told...
Pretty nice. Well, that's how I like to process vocals. I hope you guys got something out of this video today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, check down in the description below because I have a download for a free template just like the one you are looking at here today. Last but not least, I really appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the video. I sincerely love you, and I will catch you at the next one. Peace.